What's behind the growing collective desire to create in social media? What's the deeper meaning behind doom scrolling? And how can we use social media consciously, in a way that reflects our light and expands our hearts? Welcome to the second session of our channeled Q&A series, The Divine Perspective, the Future of Social Media. Let's dive right in. With the rapid changes in technology and consciousness, a growing number of people are feeling inspired to express and create online. But what's really behind this collective urge?
So we can boil it down to 3 different points. Number 1 is that people are witnessing or experiencing this vibration of separation, competition, and ego-based living, and they are tired. A lot of people are tired, and we're speaking on a collective level, and they feel like they want to inspire something different, something more heart-based, whether they're aware of it consciously that it's heart-based or not. But vibrationally, or in terms of feelings, a lot of people feel uncomfortable with these platforms, and they feel like they need to add their little touch to make a difference so that it's lighter, more heart-based. They may not know the terms heart-based or heart-centered, but they're aware that there's something lighter that feels better. So 1, it's because they want to make a change, make a shift. 2 is that a lot of people want to be seen. They feel that they're not seen. For example, in their relationships, not seen by their children, not seen by their partners, not seen at work. Why is that? Because people dim their lights with their families, dim their lights in their relationships, dim their light at work, all because of low vibration frequencies that sit in the root chakra. For example, fear, or that sit in the ego, where you feel like you need to work hard and control things and plan things ahead of time so that you don't become a failure, as an example. And so people feel like there's this platform, and then there's AI that's making it easier. And there are so many people on this platform that can see me for who I am, for my light, and acknowledge my light. So what we would say is, this is a yearning to be seen. But of course, during this process of wanting to be seen, for example, someone decides they want to create a platform because they want to be seen. There will come a time where they realize they need to first acknowledge and witness their own light. You need to see yourself for who you are before others can see you. And so that yearning to be seen is actually you looking for yourself, you trying to find you. These are 2 points. The third aspect is that there are certain people, this doesn't apply to everyone, but there are certain people who feel very strongly about their purpose in life. They're very aware that they're here for a certain reason, and they're aware of this reason. And a lot of people in their limited perspective believe that the fastest way to live out their purpose or reach a lot of people is through these platforms, because millions and millions of people are on them. Is that true? Of course not. But it's a perspective. It's also to do with expression. These people who are aware of what they're here to offer want to express their offering, want it to manifest and not just stay in their minds. It's like an expression of the soul as well. So it's to do with expression.
What is the deeper meaning of doom scrolling and social media addiction?
It's not really an addiction. That's not the reason. It's not that they feel excited or like there's a dopamine surge. It's that they feel empty. A lot of people feel empty, especially when they're alone at night, just before bedtime, or when they take a break from work. There's an emptiness that they feel, and they don't want to sit with that emptiness and acknowledge it. Like, what is it that's coming up? So instead, the scrolling helps them distract. It's just a distraction from limiting thoughts and feelings that want to be witnessed, that want to come to the surface, that want to be transmuted. It's a distraction. And then it becomes an addiction over time, because you get addicted to the distraction, that you don't need to face anything, you don't need to acknowledge anything. And this is when people start to feel helpless and start to seek help through medication, like psychiatry, or seek help through therapy. It's because they've gotten to a point where they can't help themselves anymore, and they need to be trained again to, you can say, receive the tools that are necessary so they are able to sit with these feelings and reflect on what's happening in their lives and in their bodies. And we mean all their bodies, their emotional body, mental body, etc. So what happens when you're addicted to consuming short forms of content? Your attention span becomes shorter, your ability to stay present also decreases, and you can't stay in silence for more than 15 or 20 minutes. So if you were to ask any of these people to stay in silence for that long, it'll probably be some of the worst experiences of their lives. They'll think, "What is this? I don't want to be in such a state again. That was very painful." That's because they are used to consuming things from outside of them. They are not used to consuming what's within. There's an entire universe within. Just like you're always scrolling on social media, if you took your time to scroll and understand what's within yourself, you'd find an infinite realm within this world. But people don't even allow themselves to open that door, let alone explore it. The door itself is closed. There's so much fear in wanting to know the self. Yes, on a surface level, everyone's like, I want to understand me, I want to love me, I want to witness myself. But when it comes to actually witnessing the self, understanding the self, having to reflect and sit with yourself, sit with your different bodies, sit with your soul, sit with your shadow, sit with your light, people find it difficult. They think it's too much, but it's not, because you are everything.
I'd like to understand the long-term impact on humanity, especially on children, with so many people addicted to social media. And what is the divine purpose behind this impact?
So first we would separate the two. The first part of your question is, what is the impact? And the second part is, what is divine's purpose in allowing this impact? So, the impact in the long run, if of course it stays in its current vibration, which it will not. But the impact of the current vibration is forgetting your light, forgetting who you are and your divinity. But of course, in the long run, since this is going to shift into a different vibration that's heart-based, it will be the opposite. It will remind you of your light. And what is the divine purpose? This realm is a realm of duality, and so there must be contraction for expansion to take place. So it's part of a plan where contraction takes place on a global level that affects a lot of people. And so the general vibration is forgetting your light, forgetting who you are. And of course, that can be boiled down to different symptoms. You can have symptoms on the nervous system. You can have symptoms on a psychological level. You can have symptoms on an egoic level also. The symptoms are vast, but they all relate to forgetting who you are and forgetting your divinity. And it is going to shift to remembering who you are and, in fact, supporting one another in more of a communal-based platform to remember your divinity, remember your light, and express your light as well. So every person here, every soul, is here to express a part of us, a part of divinity that is here to be witnessed. And so the platforms will encourage this witnessing of divinity, this expression of divinity to be known. Is it that these platforms will be the only way in which people express their divinity? No, but it will be an avenue out of many other avenues.
Can you share more about these community-based platforms in the future?
You want to know the details of what these platforms are going to look like? What these softwares will be like? It's not important right now, but what we would say is, it will be heavily influenced by AI, as is obvious. And the development will be fast in the sense that, because time is compressing, What took, for example, 5 years to build in the past will only take around 1 year to build now, as an example. So the progression will be quite fast compared to the past, and not just because of AI. Of course, AI makes everything faster, but it's also that AI is a reflection of a vibrational frequency where time is compressing.
As we wrap up, is there any last insight or message you'd like to share about this topic?
What we would say is, you take from these platforms what you can take, in the sense that there is no such thing that is fully shadow or fully light in this realm. There's always a play of both light and shadow in everything, and so it's all about resonance. If you go into this platform perceiving it as completely shadow-based, then what you will receive is shadow-based. But it's to understand that yes, there are certain things in life, or like, let's take a platform for example. It may be that the dominant vibration is shadow-based, but there is no way that there aren't pockets of light on the platform. So with anything in this life, there is a play of both, and it's all about resonance. So if you want to see the light on these platforms, you will see the light. Is it that light is the dominant vibration? No. But does it exist within the shadow? Of course. And so what you perceive or what you experience, what you witness, is always based on your perspective and your resonance. And so you take our advice, which is that you take from it what allows you to witness more of your light, what allows you to share more of your light with this world, and the rest you don't need to engage with.
How can we use social media consciously in a way that reflects our light and expands our hearts? Should we set an intention before using it, like through meditation or energetic programming?
So what we would say is there are infinite ways, but the most impactful way is that you establish a practice in your life, whatever that practice is, whether it's channeling, praying, meditating, or drawing for 2 hours. Whatever it is that helps you stay in a state of alignment and witness your light for a prolonged period of time, for at least an hour, if not 2. Because whatever practice you have, you need to establish something that allows you to experience alignment on a daily basis, and that vibration will extend into other areas of your life, which makes it not only the most impactful way, but also the most sustainable. Since when you're able to establish a practice, then you don't just start resonating with pockets of light on social media platforms. You also start resonating with light in your relationships, at work, with abundance, with your children, with everything. And it will begin to affect your entire life because you want to witness light in all areas, not just online. So instead of having small practices in different areas of life, you can have one practice that you do daily that keeps you in alignment and consistent. And this ends up influencing everything. Because when your vibration is aligned, what is reflected in your reality will also carry that resonance. So, to answer your question, that is the best way, though of course not the only way.
Divine, thank you for the wisdom shared during this session. These messages come from divine source energy, channeled through divine consciousness, a capacity available to all. They are voiced with AI, so the focus remains on the message, not the messenger, and are divinely guided rather than personal ideas. The purpose of this channel is to expand perspective, inspire new systems rooted in love and oneness, and help humanity shift away from fear and control. When we say divine, we refer to the ultimate source of creation. Divine speaks, using the pronouns we, us, and our, for it is one with all that is, not separate from you or me. If this message resonates, share your thoughts in the comments and subscribe to receive new weekly channeled sessions.